I just wanna play, I wanna sing my song, I just wanna run and not be gone too long. 'Cause this time is precious still, I wanna keep it close to me. I'm wishing on a star to make more time to see. You can always dream, you can put your life on hold, 'cause time won't wait for you. You can always see what is here in the now, and then you'll find out how to keep dreaming. You can always dream, no one's taken that from you, only you can see it through, just like the way you do. So feed it from your soul and weigh it from both sides. The fulcrum and the tides will give direction that you'll know. You can always dream, you can put your life on hold, 'cause time won't wait for you. You can always see what is here in the now, and then you'll find out how to keep dreaming. When you make the time, it's a game of give and take. When the balance is at stake, you need to take a look inside, look deep into your heart, and remember how it feels. It's where the answer lies and tells you what is real. You can always dream, you can put your life on hold, 'cause time won't wait for you. You can always see what is here in the now, and then you'll find out how to keep dreaming.
Hello and welcome to our Celebration Center, where we invite you to remember who you truly are. Let's take a moment to breathe in that truth. And let it out to fill the world. My name is Stephanie Snow. I am a board member here at the Celebration Center, and this morning I'm your host. Yay. And just so you know, this gathering is being recorded and will be available online. We have a wonderful service planned for you. Please join me in thanking our awesome tech crew who make this all possible. And Aiden and Jessica. Our practitioner today is, well, kind of me. I should say acting practitioner. Our guest speaker is my husband, Harrison Snow. Yay. And Lynn Hollyfield is offering our music today. Yay. Oh, and all angles. Yay, Lynn and all angles. Lynn, who is our award-winning singer, composer, musician, and guitar teacher, and our music director. So now I would like to welcome all angles for our opening song.
Thank you, Stephanie. I hope you'll all join us in singing our opening song, Come Together by Lainey Bernstein and Michael Gott.
Come together, heart and soul, as we love together. Young and old, we will sing together, together in one song. Come together, from different worlds we are drawn together. In our own way we can pray together. Together we are strong. I see God in you. I see God in you. You see God in me. You see God in me. One path, one vision, one family. Come together, dreams in hand, we will join together to build a place we can grow together. Together we are home. Together we are home. Together we are home. Together we are home.
Thank you, all angles, for blessing us with your lovely music. Now I would like you to read with me our vision statement. To awaken humanity to its spiritual magnificence. That's remembering who we are. And our reading today is from Becoming Supernatural by Joe Dispenza. And, well, if you aren't in our book group, book study, I kind of feel sorry for you. I mean, not really, because I know you're all on the perfect path, but this book study is amazing that Reverend Faith and Jen are leading, and every week online we are learning more and more about our divine inheritance, let's say. So in this, what I'm going to read to you, Joe Dispenza is talking about a meditation that he is about to present in the book, that he's about to describe in the book. I'm not going to describe the meditation, but I'm going to set you up for what he's saying. So he says, remember that this meditation is not about what you get in life. It's about who you become, or who you are in the process of becoming. If you're trying to get wealth, success, health, or a new relationship, you are still conditioned to thinking you are separate from something and you have to go get it. But the truth is that the more you become that person, the more reality will shape and mold you to be equal to your new state of being. Get beyond your identity as a body, connected to people, objects, places, and time. As you get beyond your identity as a body, you become pure consciousness. You become nobody, no one, no thing, nowhere, in no time. It is in that elegant moment that you transcend the material realm of matter and enter the quantum field of information and energy. Now that you are beyond your associations to this physical reality, you are creating from the unified field. Thus, you are creating from a level of energy that is greater than matter. Now I invite you to breathe with me as we go into a short meditation. Breathing in, love. Breathing out, love. Breathing in, who we are. Breathing out, who we are. Knowing this oneness that expresses who you truly are, if you have a word that expresses who you are, silently or softly say it now. Love. We give thanks for our awareness of who we truly are as we release our prayer into the universe. And so it is. I remind you that the practitioners are here to pray for you after service. You just have to ask. And you can also ask our prayer ministry to pray daily for you for a week by filling out this green card, or by, you can also enter it online through our website. You can request a prayer. And now, I'd like to welcome again Lynn and all angles.
Okay, in honor of Pride Month, we wanted to do this beautiful song that's written by a songwriter. Her name is Joy Alotican, and it's called Pride.
easy to forget that you are strong. You've been pushing against the tide to try to do it on your own. Those who try to cut you down are scared of their own truth. It's easy to forget that they are people just like you. A heart can break 1,000 times. No hands can take what's ours. They can't change the beauty that's inside. Pride. It's easy to forget there's nothing wrong. And the voices that make you doubt, they all have issues of their own. And those who try to cut you down are scared of their own truth. It's easy to forget that they are people just like you. A heart can break 1,000 times. No hands can take what's ours. They can't change the beauty that's inside. Love for my haters stuck in their anger. We won't apologize. Sooner or later they won't be afraid of what they're trying to fight. Love for my haters stuck in their anger. We won't apologize. Sooner or later they won't be afraid of what they're trying to fight. Pride. 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 Pride.
Remembering and living our truth out loud and proud. Thank you again. Our speaker today is Harrison Snow, who has been attending our center for more than 30 years. He started meditating when he was 20, started teaching meditation when he was 23 in Nepal and India and a few other countries, which was an unusual side gig for an Army officer. His career has been helping organizations develop best practices through facilitating executive level planning, organizational change, leadership training, and coaching in 29 or so countries. He has published books covering teamwork leadership and looking beyond the surface to find the hidden cause of organizational problems. His career has been sourced with his personal dedication to uncovering and embodying higher spiritual truth. He also works with individuals in groups and does personal coaching to support greater awareness to those who are looking to turbocharge their growth. Please welcome my husband of 30 years.
Thank you, honey. Now, that has got to be a first, right? How many people have been introduced by their spouse? I mean, really, this is pretty amazing. Wow, kind of. Yeah, so thank you, my dear wife. Thank you. I'm so honored to have you in my life and be part of my life. Yeah. Well, hey, looking around, it's so great. So really great to be here, and so I'm so honored to share a few thoughts with you about our metaphysical journey. And I want to share a little bit about what's evolved in my journey and how it's come about, and then love to hear from you all, your metaphysical journey, any insights, any key points, or defining moments in that journey, because that's why we're here. I think we look around the room, we're probably all metaphysicians that believe in changing matter through spirit, right? We all have that concept and have been living that through prayer and meditation and other spiritual practices. So, you want to hand me my sheets, babe?
They don't think I wrote.
Yeah, right. So, let's start off and just quickly reflect. Is a Celebration Center is it a starfish or is it a spider? What do you think? Starfish or spider? Keep that question in mind, because I want to acknowledge 11 people. If they weren't here, this center wouldn't be here. And this center, we are small, but we're a mighty light. I think what we do with the prayer circles and healing circles and book studies and what happens in here with the music and the prayers, it's a powerful light that goes out to the world. So, we have our fearless president, Terry Murphy. Terry is so awesome. Hold your applause. There's Jay. There's my lovely wife, Stephanie. There's Faith here, who brings her wisdom. Lynn, who brings beautiful music. Irina, who brings wonderful guests to speak to us. Jen, who brings prayers and facilitates these groups with Faith. Ed, who's not here, but Ministry of Prayer. He's been a mainstay. And Ivor in the back, who makes such a huge difference, has been a mainstay for what happens here. So let's give them a round of applause. Really gratitude for the great things that they do. And if you think about it, starfish or spider, what do you think? Which would be a metaphor for this organization? Well, the starfish can operate, it loses a limb, it still operates, right? Those limbs are pretty independent, although they collaborate and cooperate. They still focus, they can still make things happen individually. Spider, if it loses its head, the game's over, right? That's it. So I would say we're a wonderful starfish. We have these wonderful stars, each one of the 11 wonderful stars who work together to keep the doors open, the lights on, and the light shining brightly out. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for what you do. Okay, well, talking about metaphysics, the old saying, I think, I was just told, Jen just told me who did this, but now I'm forgetting, but Deepak Chopra said in one of his missives that spirituality is what religion is what other people believe, right? They're from their own experiences, what other people. Spirituality is what you believe based on your experience, all right? Because that is what really moves us, the experiences we've had. And I bet everyone here in this room has had some deeply profound spiritual experiences, right? Yeah, okay, a lot of heads raising. Yeah, I think you have. I'm sure you have, otherwise you wouldn't be here. Well, for me, it started, I went to church as a kid because my parents made me, and I was sitting there going, God, I can't believe this. This is not it, This doesn't work for me. And I remember telling that to my mother, and she said, well, you wouldn't know if you went somewhere else it would be any better. And I thought, is everything that bad? Is every place that dull and unmeaningful? There's nothing here. And then I read Aldous Huxley, not Varieties, The Perennial Philosophy. Now, I just looked at that book again, and it's pretty deep and heavy. But one thing that comes shining through, nobody's got a monopoly on God. Nobody has a monopoly. No religion or practice has a monopoly on deeply profound, mystical, loving, cosmic, beautiful experiences. And I kind of quickly said, that's the kind of place I'd like to go. That's kind of what I want. So I tried to meditate, nothing really happened until I was hitchhiking, spent a summer hitchhiking in 1971, shooting peace signs, hair, hippie day, back at the hippie days, don't trust anyone over 30, hard to believe. And met some people who were meditators up in the British Rockies, way back in the mountains, Canadian Rockies, British Columbia. Actually, it was Alberta. And learned about meditation from them, and eventually found a teacher and learned to meditate when I was 20, and started having some of those experiences, and started thinking, okay, this is the way to go. And I became a teacher. I went on long meditation retreats, and eventually even spent over a year, in a long retreat, and spent some time teaching meditation full time. And then I decided, okay, time to get a job. Went to grad school and came to DC. And I was thinking what? Just like that quote that we read about Joe Dispenza saying you wanted to get something and you did it, you were thinking your spiritual practice would help you get whatever it was. So I was looking for a job, and they were in that organization that I was in, that spiritual group, they talked about support of nature. That you would have, through your consciousness raising practice, natural support of nature, and so you're natural fulfillment of desire. So I wanted a good job. Didn't happen. I looked for a job, lived at home with mom and dad for over a year. It really, really was no fun. And I was very discouraged and gave up and went back to do more meditating. Go figure. And then when I gave up, the jobs popped up. Something about the power of giving up, letting go. The universe could come forward and respond. But that didn't answer my problems because I was in a very unstable field. I'm still in that field actually, of government contracting. So I learned good things, but the jobs would come and go because the contracts would come and go, just as you see that nowadays. So it was a little bit, there was a little bit of roughness there, and I kept thinking, well, I'm missing something. I really, really missed something. I spent all this time meditating, and this isn't working the way I thought it would. So Ed's not here, but I met Ed at a John Gray seminar in 1984 or 5 in Arlington with Diane, sitting in the back of the room, and I'm watching what's going on, people getting up, crying, all kinds of emoting going on, and I'm going, what the heck? But I realized that I had a lot of feelings I didn't even know I had. I didn't know. So I started to do emotional work, workshop work, therapy work. And that went on for years, but things started to move. And somehow I found my way into the current work that I did for years. As I did what? I went from focusing on my conscious mind, on the superconscious mind, which is great, we do that in prayer. But I was thinking, okay, my conscious mind knows more than the superconscious, because here's what I want. Superconscious had other ideas. And it taught me a lesson about, well, wait a minute, my buddy, kid. There's other minds here you need to pay attention to, which was the subconscious mind, where a lot of stuff was buried. And I didn't even know it was affecting me, beliefs, attitudes, assumptions, from ancestors, from childhood, from whatever, you could say birth trauma, all kinds of family stuff, social stuff, that was affecting me subconsciously. So I did a lot of work on that, and things moved. And, but, I still found, the life of a consultant really was a tough life. And what did I have to do? I had to, what Joe Dispenza talking about, let go of identity. Now, part of it was beaten out of me searching for a job. I had no identity, and then people said, in D.C., what do you do? I'm looking for a job. What kind of identity is that? Boom, boom. So you get humble quick. But as a consultant, I was living the life where every year, I don't know what's going to show up. And every year you're trusting, and if I got too nervous or scared about what's coming in the door, had to go lay down in the backyard, because if I tried to manifest from fear an activity, it never worked. It was all about what? The other thing that I learned previously, letting go. Letting go. Trusting, letting go. Not my mind that can figure out. Because stuff happens spontaneously. It wasn't my little mind that was making it happen. It was somehow the universal mind organizing things in a way that I couldn't have planned and figured out. Now, there was a desire there, so the universal mind had something to organize around. But not knowing, not being in control, very uncomfortable, but I was learning and not really identifying, okay, who am I? Well, I am what I'm. I can't really belong to the organization and do the work that I do, because belonging means you want to preserve your position and may not be able to tell the truth. And a lot of what I was doing was about telling the truth. And then things change when you tell the truth. But you may not have a job because I may not be too happy about that truth. So anyway, that was a big learning for me. And as I moved on, other adversities showed up that again taught me something, about what the way I'm practicing my spiritual life, and it kept coming down to letting go. And I started to realize, that we have, in terms of consciousness, we have the conscious mind, we have the subconscious mind, we have the unconscious mind, we have superconscious mind. All of those are affecting us in some way, but we have to stop, right, and not think, and let what needs to be revealed. We're not in charge. I don't think, I'm just realizing I'm not in charge, because the personal, and here's as I worked in more and more facilitation, I saw this over and over again, working with groups and with people, mostly a lot of high-powered people up in the government or in industry, pretty high-powered, very accomplished people, but they had what? And what was getting in their way was the ego. Having to know, having to be in control, having to have things a certain way, when the universal mind had other ideas. And so if a group was willing to step back and be in the uncomfortable place of not knowing, and it's very uncomfortable for people with a lot of PhD types who are very academic, have to have it figured out, have to know, have to be in control, but step back and not do that, and see what emerges from the collective wisdom, from the collective unconscious. Breakthroughs happen. Cool stuff happens. Groups come together in magical ways, mysterious ways, I'm not in control of, but we're holding the space for. So that truism is true in us, for us individually, or us collectively. And one other level of this, and it goes into that quote that Stephanie read, that Joe Dispenza quote, is there's another level of mind that Joe brings out, called the quantum void, or the emptiness of non-duality. Whereas on the superconscious mind, it's being, it's fullness, it's light, it's love, it's bliss. We get there, light, love, bliss, energy. It's great, it's wonderful. This is a place of emptiness and all possibilities. We're really stepping into the unknown there, really letting go, and that's really tough. I have things that I don't want to let go. I want this to happen, and I want it to happen now or tomorrow, and it's got to look like this, and by golly, I'm gonna, but it doesn't. I keep learning. It doesn't. There's something about surrender, letting go, trusting, not knowing, turning it over, being empty but present. Emptiness doesn't mean you're checked out and, not thinking. You're not thinking, but you're present. Your awareness is present. And then something deeper, greater, true source that we all are. We're connected to that source. We are that source. Can step forward, and whatever the outcome is going to be, makes that outcome will happen. And that's a big one. I think it's, I'm struggling with that. I don't know if that relates to any of your struggles, but I'm struggling with that. But that's where I am in my metaphysical journey. So, how about you all? Where are you in your metaphysical journey? And what helped shaped it? How experiences helped shaped it? For me, the consulting work, the meditation work, realizing, not my will, but thy will, stepping back, learning to let go, learning not to know, learning to trust. But what shaped your metaphysical worldview, and any particular experiences or teachings or memories that you'd like to share? Because we're all one here. It's all one mind, one heart, and one love. So, is this mic working up here, this extra mic?
No, people can come up there.
Okay, well, it's a little quicker, might be a little quicker if this mic was working. Yeah, good, it is. Anybody want to come up and say something? I'll go to Mike or, oh, come on, you're sitting there back in the laughing. You must have something to say. You must, come on. Break the ice for me. Help me out. Yeah, you.
I wasn't going to.
But now you're here.
Would you call me out by
I
because I
know,
was laughing.
you were laughing.
And I wasn't going to say anything.
That's saying something.
Good morning, everybody. Everything, because I was one of those rebellious children, so I was always wanting to be in control. And then I joined the military. That was the biggest eye-opener for me because I wasn't in charge of anything in there. They tell you you're their property. That's what is it called? I forgot the word they used to show that you're their property. But I learned how to submit because that was my thing. I wasn't submissive. I wouldn't let go. So now I've learned how to let go when I need to. Not all the time, but I do know how to surrender.
Thank you. Thank you. That's a beautiful, beautiful story. I think it's called GI issues. Yeah. You were government issue, right? Yeah, government issue. All right, Faith.
I remember I used to go do country dancing with the lady who was in the Army, and she said, if the Army wanted me to have a husband, they'd issue me one. Or a boyfriend. When you first asked the question about a starfish versus a spider, I kind of went to the spider making the web, and that we're all included in that design of the web, the infinite part, because I've become very, very clear that there really is no difference between us. It's become clearer to me every day. I had a friend die recently, a long, long time friend, and we had an agreement that said, if you get there before I do, let me know, give me a sign. And I've been getting signs. I have been getting regular signs, and I'm not going to go into all of them today, but the latest one was, we were on our way home from the beach last week, and Sandy said, look at that license plate. And then the license plate was N. Jean, Jean, and my friend's name was Norma Jean. So I am convinced more and more that there is no separation, and I'm believing that this room is very, very full right now because everyone who's ever been here is still here. We just can't yet communicate with them fully in our own way. So I'll leave it there, and thank you.
Thank you, Faith. Thank you, Faith. That was lovely. And yes, there's the sides, the veil is getting thinner and thinner. And so, yeah, we are all connected and stay connected. Anyone else? I know you guys the wheels are turning out there. If your palms are sweaty, that means you must come up. Okay, come on up. Okay.
Well, if I go back to getting into metaphysics, things started changing for me when I started reading the book Conversations with God. That's going like early 90s. And then in my foundations class, one of the first spiritual mind treatments that I wrote was about, Jim and I were looking for a home, to buy a home. We had been renting for a number of years. And we were very clear about, the features that we wanted in this house. And I can't believe what we manifested. It was just an amazing deal, and I think it had just about everything we wanted. We may have thought later, we should have asked for this. But so that really caught my attention. Hey, this stuff works. In recent years, I'm in the book group, the Becoming Supernatural. I'm doing some of the practices that I've never, some of them I've been aware of, but just never really got into. And I think my underlying intention is around joy. And I do feel like it is coming to me in ways that I'm just not even prepared for. It's just out of the blue. And I don't know if, I've been promoting the movie, The Life of Chuck, because there was 2 scenes in there that I was just in a state of bliss. And I think it's, it may not be that everyone's going to have that experience, obviously, but I think it's me opening to that vibration, that willingness that is allowing me to have it in unexpected places, perhaps, or just even common things that all of a sudden I'm just smiling. I just can't help it. And even during the movie, I had tears. I was in such a state of delight. And I'd love everyone to have that experience. So that's my latest wonder. Thank you.
Thank you, Jen. I just want to say that the greatest happiness is happiness for no reason at all, right? You're in that field of awareness, which is inherently happy and joyful and free and blissful, and so wonderful. So thank you for sharing that. Stephanie, you had your hand up. Although we'll get anybody else. Whoops! I think we just sold Brian, but no, he was scratching an itch. Watch where you move your hand here.
Okay. So I have been blessed all my life, from my earliest memories, having ecstatic experiences. Not all ecstatic experiences, but like I remember as a child looking up when a tree was over me with all the leaves glittering as they moved in the sun and just getting lost in it. I remember looking at a flower or smelling a flower. Like I lived in LA for a while when I was little. We had a gardenia bush in our yard. And I would go to that gardenia bush and just, it smelled so good. And then we had a bird of paradise. Remember that? The blue and orange? I mean, they're still around. And I could just look at that forever. And I read fairy tales a lot, and I very much felt that they were true in some way. And so I had a fairy godmother who was there to comfort me and protect me in case my mother or father weren't around. And she, because I had a witch outside my window and another witch in one of my drawers of my dresser. But this fairy godmother would just render them powerless. So, because at night, sometimes was a little scary when I would wake up. And so I always had this, and at some point, I did realize that this wasn't to share with other people as if it was real. I realized people weren't looking up and getting ecstatic over leaves and things like that. And I realized that if I said I had a fairy godmother, except to my parents, of course, that might not be, people might not understand that. So I did know that. And I got to the age where I was about 10, and I said, well, I don't know if this is really real. And maybe I'm getting older now, and maybe I have to not believe in this anymore. And so I gradually let that go until I was in my 20s. And I had a meditation about God. Oh, I also always loved going to churches. My parents rarely took me. We weren't really a religious family, but I always loved going to churches with my friends. But, and so in this meditation, my fairy godmother appeared. And I realized, oh, that was God, how God was speaking to me. And I welcomed her back.
So a lot of you with fairy godmothers, welcome them back. Don't want to leave anybody behind. That's all a part of us in consciousness. And one quick aside, have you ever been teased because of you shared something kind of spiritual moment, glimpse, and someone was like, what? They thought you were a little bit off the wall, crazy? Have you ever had that experience? That happened to me in college. I think my freshman year, sophomore year, I walked under an area with a bunch of trees, and the light was reflecting off the leaves, and I was just kind of going, whoa, and feeling this oneness with the trees. And a friend walked by and saw me looking kind of strange, and he said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm singing with the trees." he thought that was the funniest thing anybody ever did. Never heard the end of that, tree singer. So, because you got to be careful who you share your experiences with. Anyone else out there got something you want to inspire us, or will inspire you, or something? Anyone else? Going once, going twice. You're looking at me. You made that mistake. You look at. You get called up when you look at the. Come on up. Okay. Well, I'm going to do a little prayer, and then I'll turn it over to my lovely wife. To the all angles. After the prayer. Okay, great. So we'll do a little prayer, and then we'll turn it over. So, take a breath. And feel yourself settling down in the chair. And feel all the words that have been spoken here. But allow yourself to feel not only into the words, but the feeling, the heart feeling. People have shared their hearts with you. They've shared their stories with you, the stories of love, the stories of truth, the stories of opening up to something mystical, something magical, something truer than true. And let that light, let that love, let that energy, that joy, let all of it in. It's who you are. It's who we all are. It's the oneness of who we all are. And let it bathe every cell in your body. This light, this love, this deep human sharing, this deep sharing of oneness that we all are. That is our true self. That is waking us up to remember who we are. And everything in the world that caused us to forget, we forget it. And we come back to that deepest truth of who we are. And in that deepest truth, we let go of everything that is not true. Every memory, every impression, every hurt that is not the truth of who we are. And we know that truth. We know that love. We know that deep, deep peace. The deep letting go, surrendering to something much greater, much more wisdom, much more serendipity. But it's part of us, and it's part of us. It's the source. Source of love, source of prosperity, source of things working out, and that is who we are. And so we rest there. We rest together in this field of oneness, in this field of truth, in this field of beauty. We rest and hold hands and smile. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And now I'd love to ask Lynn and all angles, come on up and sing us out. Or sing us in.
Thank you, Harrison. I'm going to do a song called What Must Be Done by Greg Greenway, and he's with the group Brother Son. Well, I learned as a child there's two ways to see the world as it is and the way it could be. Now some people say that's just not my problem. Some people do what must be done. Now they see the hole in the fabric that must be sewn. They see the way blockaded and they roll back the stone. They see the day beyond the horizon and they do what must be done. Yeah, some people do what must be done. Yeah, they do what must be done. They see the day beyond the horizon and they do what must be done. Now I've seen the toll taken, the tears that were shed, the journey started and the ripples spread. Some people say that's just not my problem. Some people do what must be done. They see the hole in the fabric that must be sewn. They see the way blockaded and they roll back the stone. They see the day beyond the horizon and they do what must be done. Yeah, some people do what must be done. Yeah, they do what must be done. They see the day beyond the horizon and they do what must be done. Yeah, some people do what must be done. Yeah, they do what must be done. They see the day beyond the horizon and they do what must be done. They see the day beyond the horizon and they do what must be done.
Thank you, all angles. Let's give them another hand. And thank you to our speaker, Harrison Snow. Now is the time when we welcome new guests. I think I know everybody who's here. So if I don't know you, if you are new, stand up. And also, if you're online and new to us online, please make yourself known. You can type in your name. And anyone who is here and isn't getting our newsletter, you can fill this out with your email address, and you will get an amazing newsletter telling you everything that's happening at the Celebration Center. And if you think you filled this out, but you're not getting it, please talk to me, because it's probably going to your spam, or maybe I spelled your email wrong. Oh, yeah. You can also let us know who you are and your email address by the QR code and through our website. This is the time in our service for our gifts and offerings. We are a tithing community and rely on tithes and gifts from our congregation. Please know that your presence, as well as the love, time, talent, and treasure that you bring, is a gift to our community, and we are grateful. There are several ways you can give. If you're in person, you can drop your donation in the basket. If you're online, you can scan the QR code, or you can visit our website and click on the Give button. And of course, you can always mail in your check to our address, which is on our website, celebrationcenter.org. And Terry, I just thought of this, but do you remember who one of our donations, because we tithe to organization, it was matched. But do you remember who it was matched by? Oh yeah, part of our tithe, because we donate 10% of our donations, and we divide it into 3 different organizations. So one of the organizations is Ukrainian Practitioners, and our gift to the practitioners, Ukrainian Practitioners, was matched by a center in Los Angeles. So we inspired even more good. So we bless these gifts. Your contribution allows our center to shine the light of oneness farther and deeper. So we give thanks, and so it is. Oh, I did just want to point out the obvious, back to Harrison's talk. You know this, but I'm going to say it anyway. You know our 5-step affirmative prayer process? What's the last step? Releasing, letting go. That's it. Because we allow it. It's like you plant a seed and you don't dig up the seed every day to see if it's growing. Okay, I'd like to take this time for Terry, can you give a report on Ed? Ed Preston, who has been a mainstay of our center and the prayer ministry for years and years, had hip surgery last Monday.
Just to say he came home fine, but then he had 2 falls. And so the paramedics had to come. They took him to the Woodbine Rehab Center. He will be assessed on Monday what his condition is. He does not want visitors, but he would love prayers or phone calls. And I think his wife, Diane, might appreciate a little extra attention. So give a good thought for our dear Ed. It is not the same without his walker sitting there in the second row.
Terry, would you like to give a prayer for him?
Sure. We know there's only one life, one mind, one duck. And our beloved friend Ed is one with the mind, the power, the healing, and all the ducks that he loves so much and cares for and reports to us on. And we feel that power coursing through him, healing, keeping him strong, keeping him pain-free, and comforting his wife and family in this period while he's away from us, which we know will be short. And for this we are so grateful, and we let it go, and so it is.
Ed was the one that brought Harrison and I to the center. Ed and Diane. We also had our first date in the back of their station wagon. Not really. Ed calls it our first date. So, now for announcements. This year, our center is celebrating our 40th birthday. Save the date. You're going to hear more about this October 25th in the afternoon. If you want to help or want to find out more about it, please talk to Joyce or Ingy. Tonight, We are having a healing revealing circle for our center on Zoom at 7:30, so it's online only. And this is based on our healing circles, which we have monthly and weekly, but we are going to put our celebration center in the center. And we develop a common intention, and then we have a meditation, and then we share what we saw or felt or heard or experienced during the meditation. So if any of you would like to come, you just have to go online to our website and go into the Zoom room at 7:30 tonight. And today, after the service, Lynn is giving a guitar lesson, so there's still time for you who are at home to bring your guitar and come, or anybody to run home and get it. But I know Harrison brought his guitar. Also, we've got our Power of 8 monthly healing circle next Sunday after the gathering, and the week after that, wait a minute, no, never mind. The week after that, our social hour is going to be an ice cream social. Bring your favorite toppings, and we're also going to have a community sing-along. And now I'd like to welcome all angles back to the stage.
All right, if you're able, please stand. We're going to do our closing song, Room at the Table by Carrie Newcomer. Let our hearts not be hardened to those living on the margins. There is room at the table for everyone. This is where it all begins. This is how we gather in. There is room at the table for everyone. Too long we have wandered, burdened and undone. There is room at the table for everyone. Let us sing the new world in. This is how it all begins. There is room at the table for everyone. There is room for us all, and no gift is too small. There is room at the table for everyone. There's enough if we share. Come on, pull up a chair. There is room at the table for everyone. No matter who you are, no matter where you're from, there is room at the table for everyone. Here and now we all can be the beloved community. There is room at the table for everyone. There is room for us all, and no gift is too small. There is room at the table for everyone. There's enough if we share. Come on, pull up a chair. There is room at the table for everyone. There's enough if we share. Come on, pull up a chair. There is room at the table for everyone.
I just want to remind you that our practitioners are available to pray after service for you. We have Reverend Faith and we have Jen. And glad you're all standing up for our closing affirmation. Please repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening in my life right now.
Something wonderful is happening in my life right now.
I feel it.
I feel it.
I see it.
I see it.
I believe it.
I believe it.
And I allow it.
And I allow it.
Thank you, Spirit.
Thank you, Spirit.
And so it is.